You ever been on a real shrimp boat?
And we're back, and this is part 2 of the Aquavet, or hopefully you guys will come up with a better name. That's just a working title for now. So in this video, as you can see, we got the plywood. It is very close to the length of the boat. Hopefully it covers the entire thing. But we're going to get this thing seaworthy. So I think the first thing we're going to do is, this garage is hammered. So we're going to clean it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we are all cleaned up. So here's where we're at. We have the bed on top of the plywood, and it's pretty much perfect as far as this side goes. Just a little bit of trimming. I was really hoping I was going to have more left over on this side because I wanted to use this slack as a stringer in the center. But we'll figure something out. In the meantime, it's not worth recording. If you haven't noticed, I don't like recording boring stuff. No one wants to see me with a jigsaw just cutting wood. So I'm going to trace this out with a pen, get this cut, and then we're going to circle back. As you can see, we got the plywood all cut. Now, the smart thing to do would be to take the bed and just pop it on the plywood and make sure it fits, but there ain't nothing smart about this whole idea. So instead, I'm going to be building stringers, probably like 4 inches high. And obviously they're going to taper down. And they're going to go on the underside. As you can see, I marked this inside. So since I got to run to the store to get wood, because this was all I had left over, and I really need 8-foot pieces, I think I'm going to waterproof this side. So got some fiberglass resin. I'm just going to mix it up. I'm not using mesh or anything here. This is just to protect the wood. So I'm going to mix it up, paint it on, and run to the store. All right, I'm not going to lie, that took about a half an hour. And it did go on a little bit wet. So what I did was just kind of sprinkled some hardener in, use a little roller, rolled it all out, and hopefully that'll be dry in an hour when I get back from the store. That way I can flip it over and start prepping the underside. I guess we'll find out. Here we are back the next day, and we got a nor'easter going on outside, so we are pretty much stuck in the garage anyway. So, obviously, yesterday I went out, grabbed all the wood I need. My game plan is, I'm pretty much going to edge it all out with this 3/4 inch by 1.5 inch. This is going to be my landing. Up here, I will end up cutting a slope on this for the V-hole itself. And my game plan is, I'm going to bring this to work. I think I mentioned I work for a fiberglass company. I'm going to have my guys spray foam this. And then I'll fiberglass over that, and it should give me my V-hole. In the back here, obviously, I'm going to start here, end up down here. It should be nice. Now, obviously, the easiest thing for me to do would be just to glue a flat sheet of foam board on here, like 2-inch foam board. Get that for free also, and then I can just kind of taper the edges and the front, but that's easy. We don't want to do easy. So, I'm not going to record me just cutting all these, because it's going to suck, and I am going to, you can see, use my brad nailer, and I have plenty of silicone, so I'm going to silicone this down as we go. So let me start cutting, and I'll give you an update when we get halfway through. Like I was saying, here we are halfway through, and we do have the front all done, all the way up to the wheel well. Now, I'm starting to worry that I'm going to run out of wood, because I only bought 3 6-foot pieces. As you can see, we're already at the back. I still have to make a rounded piece for here and some relief cuts here and there. So that's all I have left over from the first piece, which is about 4 inches. So that'll get me there, but it's going to be tight. So we're going to keep on rolling, and I'll show you when we get all done with this frame here. Okay, here's where we ended up. We ended up about maybe a 1/2 inch or so short. This is what I got left. I'll make it work. Not a big deal. So let me get started. I think I'm going to do the back next. Get that in place. And then start the front. And I will show you what it looks like when we get there. Alright, I got the back pieces cut. So my game plan, I'm going to come over about a 1/2 inch here. And I'm going to come up 3/4 inch here. And we're going to cut a line to connect these. We're going to do that on both sides. And then I'm going to get this secured in place. I'm pretty much just going to cut some triangle blocks and tack them in, and you'll see that when I'm done. so here's what we got going on. I got the rear all done, as you can see. I threw some little angles in here that were scrap just to hold this in place, because when I spray foam this, spray foam might move it. So I marked the center. This board is 7 feet, so at 3.5 feet, this is where I'm going to start my angle, and I'm going to run it down to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to get this set, figure out how I'm going to make that round. I don't want it straight. I think that would look stupid. And I do have a little wood left over, so I might remake these pieces and then drop them in the middle. But let me get this cut and set in place, and we'll go from there.
And we fucked it up.
I got this all on, and I just realized that I kind of screwed up, and it's got to come back off. Not necessarily the back, but definitely the front. So I am pretty happy with this angle. So let me go inside and grab the piece that I forgot and see what we can do. That's what I forgot. I forgot I want a tow hook in here. So now I got to mount this somehow, or I don't have to worry about it ripping out. So let me get to thinking. Alright, here's my game plan. Got some scrap metal. I'm going to cut these at 45s, weld this all together. Hook will pop out there. And this will disperse the weight so I don't just rip anything off the bottom. So I'm going to get this drilled, cut, welded, and show you where we're at. Definitely got my money's worth out of that one. Alright, here's our tow hook. As you can see, I went through, welded it all up, both sides. Drilled a bunch of holes. Now this is going to disperse the weight across it. So that fits right into there. I'll screw this all in, here and here. And of course I did have to notch this piece, but it should fit right over. So this will get filled with spray foam and caulk, but I'll probably fiberglass it also. Nah, you don't have to silicone this. I'm not worried about it. So, yeah, I'm going to screw this in, and then I think we're going to build another little, I don't know what you call it, bulkhead in the center, because I do have the wood. I went through, got all the riv nuts in place, got it all mounted. Now we're going to tack this thing up, and we want to make sure it's exactly square in the car, so I'm going to be tacking it very lightly, just like 3 tacks per corner, I'm thinking. And just keep moving around. We don't want to heat it up too much and burn through the plastic. We're going to do that multiple times, and then we're going to pull it all out and hammer it from the bottom. So this is the worst spot. We almost burned through, but we didn't. So let's hammer this home. As you can see, we got the frame all painted up. Now we used Rust-Oleum rust reformer because that's all we had. And you can see there's a couple spots here where I sanded down the paint, because I'm going to be adding more braces in. Now, of course, metal wasn't long enough, so I had to butt weld it. But I'm going to add these in, and I will show you the reason for it. Might be overkill, but I'd rather play it safe. So let me tack these, weld them up, and get going. Moving right along, as you can see, we got this all burned in, front and back. And while we're waiting on this to dry, I have decided that probably going to be a good idea to put a drain plug in this thing. Don't really have any plans as far as where this is going to be, but it's going to end up at my buddy's house, probably on a jet ski trailer, and just going to fill it with water. Obviously, they don't make a cover for something like this. So, I got plenty of PVC, so what I'm going to do is, about 4 inches in, I'm going to drop a hole here, come up 90, and come out the back. And originally, I was going to go with this. That way, just open and close it to drain it, but I think that would look stupid. So, I think I'm going to end up going with a little piece like this. Actually, where did that go? This one. Drop that right there with a threaded cap and call it a day. So probably put it around there near the bottom. So this is just cutting PVC and gluing it together. So let me get this done and I'll show you what I mean. And we'll see if it works. 1 inch hole there, 1 inch hole there. Let's connect these. It really can't get much easier than that. So in the winter, we just leave it with the cap off. And then when we're using it, just thread that cap on. And it ain't going anywhere. And I will silicone this, but this is all getting fiberglassed from here all the way up. So this will all be sealed off anyway. So let's flip this over and we'll get the top set in. I can't see this working out well, but we're going to give it a try. All right. Kind of worked out better than I hoped. So here, now we're going to cut this flush. We're going to kind of taper it in and fiberglass into that hole. So let's get that going. Okay, so we used our little multi-surface tool just to get a nice flat cut on here. Now we're going to use a Christmas tree and we're going to kind of taper this out. So let's see how this works. All right, let's fiberglass that in. As you can see, we are all fiberglassed in here with our drain plug. And now for the next 15 or 20 minutes, I'm going to go through. We're going to mount the old bed frame to the old bed for the last time. I don't think I'm going to have to take it out again. So once we get that all set, I'll show you where we're going next. Next day here, and we are back. So today we are going to be putting all the electronics in it. So we have the headlights all pre-wired. We got the horn. We got a bilge pump. We have a bow light and an anchor light. We have a bunch of these red LEDs that we are going to be throwing into the back here. And then we have our switch plate here, which is all good to go. And as you can see, I gooped it up with some hot glue. So we're going to get this all wired. We're going to be staying right here on the passenger side with everything. So we're going to have to drill a hole and bring the wire out. Probably going to come out up top here because this is where the anchor light is going. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to fish the wire from here to here. And everything's going to run up the side. And up here, I'm going to have to fish the wire from this little hole here over to here. And then I think I'm going to pop out the back. So this is all stuff that I do not feel is worth recording. You don't want to see it, and I don't want to record it because recording slows you down. So how about I just get this in place and show you it all working. So here's a fun little trick that I just made up on my own. If you got to snake a wire from here through plastic, like I did, I just put like 3 nuts on. They basically threaded right on. And just drag the magnet over. And boom, popped right out of the hole. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. I probably should have recorded doing that because I didn't think it was going to work. Moving on. Well, we're about halfway through and the wiring is not tidied up, but figure I have 3 things going to the front, 3 things going to the back. So let's see if this works. Let me connect some power. See what we get. Good there. All right. Nothing there. Oh, we got headlights. We got a bow light. Oh, we came off here, but... Oh, yeah. Let's keep rocking. Now, once again, for these backlights, we're going to be using the magnet trick. That's where we thread on a couple nuts onto our wire. And we're going to feed the wire into here. Hold on. I'm going to grab it with our magnet. Here you can see, we got it. And I'll try to get this on film. And we're just going to slowly feed it and pull it at the same time. Might fall off a couple times, who knows? Because we're going over here. Alright, now I'm going to leave that right there. And we're coming in the hole right here. As you can see, I already got one. So now we're just going to reach into this hole and we're going to pull it out with the needle nose. So I can't really see it. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it, but let's see where we end up. Where are we at? There we are. First, we'll grab it with these. Magnet fell off, so now we don't want to lose this. There we go. And that's the two hard ones. So let me run the two easy ones. We are back, and after about an hour or so of wiring, we are all wrapped up. Now, I still have to go through and wire loom all this, which not a big deal. I'm just waiting on the wire loom to get here from Amazon. As you can see, we threw a bilge pump in here. Just exhausts right there. And we have our anchor light, we have our bow light. So let's try all this out. There's our anchor and bow light. There's our head and tail light. This is, as you can hear, the bilge pump. And this is the horn. Let's take a look at this thing. Yeah, I think that's going to work. There it is in complete darkness. Looks pretty damn good. So I think that's going to do it for this video. Unfortunately, I could not meet up with my spray foam guys to get this V-hole sprayed in, because once that's in, then we just glue it and screw it right to it, and then fiberglass. Probably going to fiberglass up to this body line right here. Just scuff it all up, fiberglass down. So, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all that stuff that these successful YouTubers tell you to do, and get off the couch and get in the garage and build something stupid.
Here, I'm a white trash idiot. The end.